Hello everyone, this is Ali from True Coding, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create a loading screen animation with HTML and CSS. So not only will I be showing you how to create the loading animation itself, but I will also be showing you how to create it so that once the page is done loading, it'll come to your content. So if I add that in, you can see that once the page is done loading, it'll slowly fade out into the content. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so inside of our HTML, we'll go ahead and start by doing !tab. Now let's just give this a title, so loading screen animation. Now we can head inside of our body tag and we will start by creating a div for the loading screen. So dot loading screen. Now inside of that we'll create another div called loading. So dot loading. And then we can create our 4 span elements, which will be our 4 icons for our loading screen. So span, take that and we can copy it 3 more times. So let's go 1, 2, 3, and 4 spans. Now we can add the content just under our loading screen div closing tag. So just do dot content, create a heading 1 and just write title. You can just write title, you can put whatever text you want. And then we'll create a paragraph and just write lorem 40 to generate some dummy text. Now we can head it over to our CSS to actually create it. But actually before we do that, let's go ahead and link it. So we'll add the link tag and link it to our style.css. Now we can head over to our style.css. So the first thing we're going to want to do is remove our default margin and padding. So set the margin to 0 and also the padding to 0. Now we can go ahead and do our loading screen. So we'll do dot loading dash screen because that's what we named it. And then we can set the width to 100% and the height to 100 viewport height, which is the entire height of our screen. Then we'll set a background color to make it pop more. So I'm using hashtag 2E2E2E, which is this dark grayish color. Now I'm going to center everything and fix the position. So position fixed, display flex, and then we're going to align items in the center. So align items center and justify content also into center. Now we can go over to our dot loading div. So dot loading, and let's set the width to around 80 pixels. Again, display it as flex. And flex wrap, so flex wrap. Then we'll add an animation for when we actually create the spans into their squares. So we'll do animation, and let's do rotate. And because we want to rotate in a circle, and we'll do 3 seconds, linear, and infinite. Now we can add the keyframes, so add keyframes, and then rotate. So for our rotate, and then we'll do 2, the curve bracket, and let's do transform, rotate it. And let's set that to 360 degrees if we want a full rotation. So if we save this and let's just run it real quick, we can see that all we have is our background, which is fine because we still need to actually create the animation. So now let's do dot loading. Let's do our span elements. So dot loading span. Let's do a width of 32 pixels and a height of 32 pixels. Now we are going to give it a background color of, let's give it red. Margin of 4 pixels and a animation. And let's do scale 1.5 seconds, linear, infinite. So as you can see, it's all red and it is spinning in a circle. Now let's do dot loading span colon empty edge dash child, and let's set this to 1. And then we can copy and paste this 3 more times once we add the code inside it. So inside of that, we're going to do a background color. So that's for one of the cubes. We'll give it a color of hashtag E77F67. So we see one of those has changed to that. And we're going to transform the origin and set that one to bottom right. Now we can copy this bit of text, copy that one, so we have 2, 3, 4, and then change it for each square. So oops, 1, 2, 3, and finally 4. Now they're all that color, so let's change the colors for each one and their origin. So we'll do for this one 77 EBEB. That one's more purplish, but as you see, that changed to the bottom right one. So we need to change that origin to bottom left, and then we see that now it's the bottom left one. Now for the third one, let's change the color, and for this one we'll do F8, F8A, 5C2, and we will again transform the origin. This time make it top right, oops, not top right. And then finally for the last color, we're going to make it F5 CD79, which is a yellowish color, and transform the origin to top left. And that's it for the CSS to create the loading animation. So now I'm going to show you how to create it so that once your page is done loading, it'll actually come to the content that we have added in our HTML. So to do that, you're going to go to Google Chrome or whatever browser you're using and go to cdnjs.com, and so this link here, and version 3.5.1 is the version I'm on right now. And then this first one here, click copy URL. Once you've copied the URL, go just in your head tag, just below, just above our title, and do script, and inside the first tag to src, and paste that link in. Now we can go underneath all of our divs for content, and again inside of there we'll create a script tag. Now inside of that we'll do in brackets, we have to do that. So window dot on, and then again here on load, and then we do that and do function, and then function, and then we'll again put this sign here, again put brackets, inside of that put some quotations, and do dot loading screen, because that's what we named our div. And then we can do, after that, dot fade out, and let's do 4,000 so it fades out quite quickly. Now we want our content to fade in, so right after that we will do again the sign and again the brackets. This time we'll do dot content, so dot content, and then we will again do dot, instead of fade out we want to fade it in, so fade in, and we want to fade in a bit quicker, so let's do 1,000. Now we can close that, add a semicolon, and first actually we need to add another closing bracket here. Save that, and now we see it slowly made our transition. So my page is loading pretty quick, so you can see once the page loads, it slowly transitions to our text. Now if we want to fade out a bit quicker, we can change 4,000 and change it to a different value, so now it's fading quicker. If we want to fade really slow, we can do 10,000. You see it fades really slowly. So the value I like is 4,000 because you actually get to see the loading animation clearly, but it doesn't take too long for you to actually reach your main page. So if you don't want this part, you can just remove the script tag over here and remove the link script tag here. So that's all there is to it, and if you enjoyed this video and if it helped you out, please consider liking and subscribing, as it would really help me out a ton.